each of you. Hey everybody, good morning. How we doing? Welcome to Americana Fest, right? Good. We have any Brandi Carlile fans in here? Yeah, me too. I'm excited to help open this year's event with someone who has redefined what it means to be a storyteller, a truth teller, and a force for good in this industry. Brandi is a Grammy-winning artist and producer.
There's a lot of people in here.
Pretty cool stuff. We got Brandi Carlile. One more time, please.
Yeah, I grew up outside of Seattle, in the town I still live in.
Amazing.
Maple Valley, Washington, Cascade Mountain foothills town. And yeah.
Wait, you don't live in Maple Valley. You don't rule about it. You got
Seattle, yeah, okay, they're close enough. I always wanted to ride to Seattle. We listened to country and Western music in my family. And I loved Patsy Cline and Tanya Tucker, Dolly Parton, Brenda Lee, Kitty Wells, Tammy Wynette, all the real matriarch outlaws of country music. And and at the time there was this little kind of like dinner theater in a town just adjacent called Auburn, and the dinner theater was called the Northwest Grand Ole Opry. And we would all get together and sort of like reenact the Grand Ole Opry. And you'd have your like auditions on Tuesday for the show, Wednesday rehearsals, and then Friday and Saturday night was like the show, and there was an announcer and everything. And I auditioned with Roseanne Cash's Tennessee Flat Top Box, and got on stage that Friday night, and I still remember the blindingness of it, and the lights reflected in my glasses, and there was like 250, 300 people there, and I was like, I live here now. I live on stage. This is my life. And I don't think I ever even contemplated looking back. I was at that Opry house for years until I was a teenager and started singing background vocals for an Elvis impersonator.
Impersonator?
Yeah.
Who were you impersonating?
The Elvis impersonator. He was an Elvis impersonator, and I was just the background vocalist. But I mean, you could do a lot worse than those background vocals. It was quite an education.
So that moment you were on stage and you recognized the fact that this was your life, how old was it for you?
8, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe somewhere between 8 and 9, and it was really important. Next song I sang was Delta Dawn. Next song was Mary Chapin Carpenter. It just went on and on and on. I would learn all of these songs and get outfits made for me by my mom and grandparents, and then just wanted to be on stage.
Wow, that's special. 8 years old.
Yeah.
And so from 8 to teenage years, you dreamt of it. You were perfecting the craft at that point, starting to write songs and play guitar, piano?
No, and that's a good question. Because it was country music and because I was so young, and I was learning songs from the radio, I didn't really even understand that people wrote songs. I just thought you sing songs, and it never really occurred to me where they come from.
They come from, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I used to think that, and maybe every little kid does, that there was just a line of bands standing outside the radio station, and one would filter in and play their song, and then rush out, and the next one would play their song.
How does that work with streaming?
Yeah, it's just a really fast process. And then one day at the Opry, it's so funny to say at the Opry in Nashville, somebody was talking about an original. Oh, so-and-so's going to sing an original tonight. And I said, well, what's an original? And she said, well, it's a song that someone else wrote that nobody else has heard yet. And I was like, can anybody do that?
Well, that had to be a game changer for you, because I don't know that many people that have written songs that, like you have, that are so personal and so introspective and so meaningful. So at that point, another light must have gone off in your head. Oh, this is a way that maybe I can express myself through the music. True?
Yeah, yeah, and I heard this song, it was called Daddy Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is so country. It's so country in the 90s. And I was like, well, that's devastating, and like, I wonder if that's somebody's story, and where did that come from, and is that real life? And somebody had won me an acoustic guitar from playing a game at the fair.
Whoa.
But it only had 2 strings on it. And it would just go boom, ding, boom, ding, boom, ding, boom, ding. And I would do that. And I wrote by myself in the bathroom of our single wide trailer, I wrote a song that went, I'm gonna ride on out, I'm gonna hit the road, I'm gonna take to the trails with a speedy mode. Leave you behind in a dusty cloud, I wanna hear nature's song both quiet and loud. When the sun sinks behind the mountainside, gonna sing my sad song beneath the purple sky, and fall asleep inside a saddle deep, and wake on up to the morning sweet. I'm gonna ride on out, I'm gonna hit the road.
And you still remember it.
I really remember it, yeah. Really.
That's crazy. So you went from there, and what gave you the, I guess, audacity or the belief that you could write the type of songs that you began writing at that point? So honest, so brave, so you just would open up your soul in your music. How did you get to that place?
The support of a community. I'm not a go-it-alone kind of girl. There were a lot of adults around me and other kids telling me I could do it, giving me the encouragement, not making me feel weird. And I don't think that's any different from what I'm striving for now, you know, and why I'm here, why you're here, is that a community does create an artist, and art thrives in that setting.
And your experiences, right, and your life, your interactions give you the fuel for your creativity. True?
Yeah. I mean, I'd never fallen asleep beneath a saddle deep, but like, I wanted to, and I could paint the picture in my mind, and I had the encouragement, you know. And it is audacity. You say audacity, it's so precocious. My wife is British, and she's like, oh, I don't like when children sing. You know, British people are always so afraid of being embarrassed, or like overplaying your hand. And I mean, American kids are obnoxious, and I was no exception.
Well, hopefully you let your kids sing.
Yeah, well, they do sports.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, one of them does, the other one's a comedian, but yeah, I would love it if they would sing. But it is one of those, I mean, I don't know, it's not black and white, but it is one of those things where if you have to do it, you have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, you know
And if
that.
you don't have to do it, and you don't feel it in your bones, you should probably do something else.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. So, you've written all these songs, you've had all these records, you've found amazing success. How are you seeing the industry changing? How are you seeing your experience and your interaction with the industry changing? Talk maybe a little bit about technology. You know, we don't want to bring up the 2 letters that everyone's talking about, but we will. And also maybe talk a little bit about your interaction with collaborators. You collaborated with some of the best, the brightest, most talented artists and producers. Maybe we start with collaboration. How have you found collaborating with some of the legends that you've gotten a chance to work with?
I mean,
Great.
it's been vital, essential to my growth as a person, and life affirming in ways that I can't even explain. Like it's informed everything about the kind of artist I am now. And these are high honors. These are things that I recognize haven't been afforded to everyone. But the collaborations in particular with some of my elders, you know, Tanny Tucker, Elton John, Joni Mitchell, have really all been very different. Like running around behind Tandy Tucker, like wrangling Tandy Tucker for a couple of years was just another level of chaos. That was really good for me because I can be a bit buttoned up and I have some like rigidity issues. Like I'm a 1 on the Enneagram. What number are you?
I don't know.
Oh, I need to test you.
Please. I need to know.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 9.
Is that good?
Well, yeah, because it's like, you seem to have the ability to just keep your composure. Like composure is a really undervalued, you know.
Probably comes from fear somewhere.
Yeah, well, you don't let it show.
Well, thank you.
I'm going with 9.
Okay,
And
I'll
actually,
check it.
the official name of the 9 is the Peacekeeper.
Okay, well,
So
I'll
that's a
accept
good
that.
one. Yeah,
What's the official title of the 1?
it's embarrassing.
Make something up, no one will
It's the
know.
Reformer. So you can see how hard it was for me to work with Tandy Tucker. I was just doing shots of tequila all the time at all hours of the day and just trying to get on that level. But it was so good because it like freed me from myself in some ways. Like it could all fall apart. She could not show up, or she could show up and leave every single person in the audience in tears. And that was amazing to watch her work. Her charisma it happens on stage. And then Elton is what I imagine like Beethoven might have been like, you know, like this great, inexplicably unlocked composer with all this like
It's coming out.
violence in the way that he plays the piano, and it's like everything shakes, the glass in the studio shakes, and he's just so powerful and so complicated. But well, he's a once-in-a-lifetime composer, and I got to work with an absolute master.
And incredibly generous, right?
Incredibly generous. And I mean, of all of the artists that I've met, I've never met an icon who's further from being a narcissist. You know, he asks questions and listens to the answer.
Right.
He
Curious.
waits. Every day he calls. He's a spectacular human and artist, but also very complicated.
Yeah, I'm
to
sure.
know. Yeah.
He's had a lot of experiences to complicate him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Joni. What can you say about Joni?
Come on, Joni.
So
Guys,
that,
you actually performed on the Grammy stage together, which
Yeah.
to me was one of the most memorable things I've ever seen on our stage. Full tears for me.
yeah, me too.
And you had to perform.
Yeah.
You've collaborated with all the great artists, definitely. What about producers? Now, we talked a little bit about working with producers when you first started versus working with producers.
And I haven't heard anything about developments in AAI as it pertains to creators that excites me or feels like a justification to open the gates to it. Or
Get excited about it.
I'm not excited about it. I will say, actually, when I did hear a very interesting thing recently. The only argument that I heard about AI that made me raise at least one eyebrow was somebody said, you know what would be cool is if you could take a song like that you love, like the joke, and because of AI, it could be sung in every language in your voice. That's kind of cool. I've been kind of like a landlocked singer-songwriter for a long time. Just had kids at a certain age where I just got stuck in.
Yeah.
And recently I went over and did a European tour, and I found myself singing to these fabulous people and kind of wishing that,
In their language.
yeah. And I thought, well, maybe that's the one thing that could be cool.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard your voice replicated by AI?
Yeah.
And what did that mean to you? What did that do to you? Like, freak you out?
It was a
Make you
prank.
angry?
It was a prank by Elton John.
You said he was complicated.
Where he just took some filthy poem and made it happen in my voice. It's one of my prized possessions, but it's also a pretty hard eye roll. Yeah.